and delivery assurance at Verint, who is going to share with us his experience and best practices. To give a short note about Mr. Nataraj, a master degree holder in computer applications from Manamalayam Sudha University, way back. Currently, he is based out of Atlanta with family and blessed with a kid. He is posted in Verint in Alphata base for the last 4 years. Prior to that, he was in GE for around 13 plus years in various roles from program to project management and leading large-scale ERP implementations. Overall, he comes with around 19 years of IT experience in a hybrid mix of hands-on and leadership roles. Well, to take it from here, again, on behalf of all Vidatans, I'm privileged to welcome Mr. Nataraj Subramaniam. Team, please give him a big hand while he takes the center stage.
Thank you all. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Thank you all for coming. First of all, it's very, very nice to see that VDOT has grown to such a big organization in India. I'll tell you what is my relationship with VDOT as we go along, but it's really nice to see an entire large hall filled with, VDOT people. It's very heartening to see it. I think it's grown significantly, and it's very nice for me to be able to see it. I wanted to start with that. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I promise not to talk until the cows come home and kill you guys. I know you have work to do. I know you've taken time off from your busy schedule. So I'll try to keep it down to as little as possible, but please ask anything that you want. I'm not a client coming here to evaluate your capabilities. I know it quite well, okay? I'm here to just meet you, share my experiences and answer any questions or anything that you people might have. So feel free to ask questions as we go along. So I've been in the United States since 1997, and in different capacity, starting off doing development work and then being a DBA and then subsequently doing business analysis, then moving into project management, program management, and now I'm the VP of IT here. So it's been a gradual growth in my career. And one of the things that I learned from my own experience, which I always share with people, is anything that you do with passion. I'm sure there are rewards to follow. Okay, it's not that you need to try to get to where you want to be overnight. It's a question of time. It's just a question of time. Hard work, dedication, and commitment usually pays off. I'm currently the VP of Architecture and Delivery Assurance. So what I do is I do enterprise architecture for entire Verint. I will tell you a little bit about what Verint does, but prior to that, I do enterprise architecture for all of Verint. I also take care of 4 different verticals. I take care of delivery on the DB and system side. I take care of delivery on global development. I also run BI and analytics, which is the third vertical that I run. And the 4th vertical that I run is something called customer engagement, which we are trying to get into as an overall business practice, which also includes mergers and acquisitions, evaluating companies that are pretty similar in our space and trying to acquire them. So this is what I do. And in my free time, when I'm not doing all this, I generally keep up with my friends like Sid and everybody else. So, but I'll give you a few minutes about what Verint does. We are a very, very exciting company, We do voice and video analytics. That's our base. So our base of technology is we have our own proprietary voice and video analytics platform. On top of that, we have 3 different business units that we run. One of the business units that we run is called Enterprise Intelligence. And what this does is, this is a combination of hardware and software. So if you look at, say, call centers, long time ago, not very long time ago, about 7 or 8 years back, you had to have supervisors listening into the call to see how the analyst was doing, or what is the feedback from the customer and things like that. Today they don't do that. They all use Verint software. In fact, we are almost proprietary in this field. So if you have a large BPO, like say Genpact, which I used to work for once upon a time, they would buy 500 seat licenses and they would install it in everybody's computer. And by the end of the day, our software analyzes the call that happened and gives them a report saying, Your analyst on the third call wasted time between 7th minute and 8th minute. In the 10th or 11th minute, he gave away information he was not supposed to give away. All that analytics is done automatically today. So that is one business unit that we have. The second business unit that we have is video intelligence, which is not your typical CCTV cameras that you have, but high-end cameras that are used in airports and enterprise customers like Walmart and Best Buy. So what it does is, if a customer walks into the store, goes through 4 different aisles and comes out with nobody going and asking him for help, it's automatically recorded as a poor customer service experience. That is one. The other thing is, you'll see things you might be aware of things in the US where today you'll have cell phones in the front of the store, tomorrow it'll be at the back of the store. These are all analytics that are done based on our cameras, that people going and looking for cell phones in a particular area of the store. So that's the second business unit. The third one is the most exciting one. Of course, I can only speak on a limited basis about this third one. It's called Cyber Intelligence Division. So what we do is we use our video and audio analytics capabilities to provide security worldwide. So whether it be working with various governments all over the world, or local law enforcement agencies, things like that, we have our own proprietary software and our own technology that can do many things, many things that it can do. And unfortunately, I can't speak too much about it because of the security nature of the business. But almost 120 countries in the world use Verint security needs for their law enforcement and their internal security and all that. So it's a very exciting space to be in. Just to give you an idea, some of the cameras that we have, we're working on some exciting technology as well, like things like I don't know if any of you know, there was an Air Asiana crash that happened in San Francisco. Verint camera was the only one that picked up the flight path. So now we are staffing all the airports all over US with our cameras, and what they're working on is trying to find some kind of technology balance between what the camera sees and what the pilots are actually doing and what the flight is actually doing. So if there's a mismatch between, say, what the flight controller says versus what the flight is doing, it can automatically raise an alert and bring about safety in this aspect. So it's a very exciting thing. So these are our 3 primary businesses that we run. We've had tremendous growth in the last 5 years. I've been with the company for 3.5 years now. We've grown from 760 million when I joined to about 1.4 billion right now. So we've literally doubled in the last 3.5 years. And we've grown from a workforce of about 2,100 to 4,800 today. Our stock price has gone up from 20 to 67 today. So it's phenomenal growth that we are seeing. Very exciting space to be in. So having said that, I won't kill you with Verint anymore, but this is what we do, and I'm really proud to be part of this company. I'm happy to be part of this company. So if you have any questions about Verint and what it does, I'll be glad to take it. I can answer any questions that you might have. There are just 2 companies in the world right now that play in this space. One is us, and the other company called NICE, based out of Israel. And it requires a lot of time to build this analytic capabilities, that is understanding accents, understanding how things work. So it's not easy for somebody to come in and start something in this space and be competitive. So which is good and bad. Having said that, I'll move on to my relationship with VDOT. Okay, I'll start off with my relationship with Sid and then move on to my relationship with VDOT. So my relationship with Sid goes back to prior to I think even when VDOT was started. I think it was way back in 2003 when Sid used to work for a company called Sistel. He was a vendor with Genpact, and we go a long way. So for you may not understand the magnitude of where you are sitting today, but for me, I understand the magnitude of this, and I will tell you what I mean by that. Sid came out of Sistel and started VDOT, I think back in 2007, if I'm correct. Alex? In 2007, he started VDOT. So we're talking about 8 years in the business today. This is a very crowded space in the US. It's a very crowded space because to start a consulting company is very easy. All I need to do is go on to knowlow.com and register my company. It takes a maximum of 30 minutes to start a consulting company. So every third person in the US has a consulting company. So to take it from that point and to grow it to here, there have been many right decisions along the way that have been made, and there have been many struggles also along the way to get to this point. So where you are sitting today and where you see, I want you to look at VDOT in a completely different perspective. I want you to appreciate the efforts that have gone into this company in order to be where it is today, okay? And I also like the fact that Sid has invested in a center like Trichy, rather than running with everybody else and going into some IT park in Chennai or Bangalore or something like that, which is one of the main reasons I decided to take the time and said, I will come here. I said, I will go and meet the team. I will come here. So these are all some of the history you may know or you may not know. But to me, what does it mean? I used to work with VDOT when I was working for Genpact and GE. They did quite a bit of work. But in this new capacity in Verint, there's obviously a lot more control in terms of what I run, because I more or less run IT, okay? And what has it done for me and what has it done for VDOT? I think what it's done for me is I have the flexibility to be able to pick up the phone and say, Sid, this is something that I need, and I need it today, or I need it tomorrow, or I need it day after. And usually VDOT comes through with their commitments, okay? Usually VDOT comes through with their commitments. That's huge for me, because I don't have the time to write job requirements, go follow up, have millions of meetings trying to explain to the recruiters on what's going on. So this is where your skill comes into play, and this is your difference. There are clients like me today in the US who want things to be turned around really quickly. I know from your side, sometimes you may not have job descriptions, you may not have things, but this is the kind of pressure that I am putting on VDOT. So, you have to look at that as well. It's me who's sometimes dictating these unreasonable things that's coming your way in the middle of the night. So, from that standpoint, I'm extremely happy with what I've gotten from VDOT till date. Okay, very happy with what I've gotten from VDOT till date. But as we go forward, it's not just me, it's with other clients as well in the US. There were times when, say 10 years back, you have a position and you would get 4 resumes. And you had to pick one among them. You wait for another 15 days, you might get one more, that's it. But now time has changed. I have a position today, I probably get 50 to 100 resumes within 48 hours. So where is the differentiator? So where is the differentiator between one company and the other? I think that's where relationship plays a huge part, and quality of work that comes out from the back end as well plays a huge part. I'll talk about that in a little bit, about what I mean by quality of work that comes out from differently. So what is it meant to VDOT from a Verint standpoint? Alex, I'm not sure if I can share this, but I'll share it anyway. I think VDOT and Verint have done business in excess of $1 million as of today, in the last 3 years that I've been with Verint, okay? And I'm very happy with the service that's been provided. I'm very happy with the kind of people that I've gotten from VDOT, and I also appreciate some of the people that I run ragged, specifically like 2 or 3 people. I don't know. Robin is in the US. I drive him crazy. I don't know where Russell is. I've never met him. I drive Russell insane. And I also, Pramila Devi, I don't know if she's here, but I drive her crazy as well in terms of the POs and invoicing and everything else. So, again, these are all functions that are expected. I mean, there are certain things that you may not see on a day-to-day basis, but to me it's pressure. Like, for example, one quarter I want the invoices done 15 days ahead of time, and I need it right now, because that's the way accounting is done, that's the way accruals are done, that's the way I use my budget for the current year. So all these become critical functions. It's not just about finding the candidate, and it's not just about staffing. It's a whole spectrum of things that I expect from VDOT. So, this is something that